The world of robotics isn't just evolving, it's mutating in real time. This past week felt like the moment AI stopped pretending to be polite software and stepped directly into the unpredictable, slippery, hilarious mess we call reality. Robots learned from colliding with the physical world, humanoids slipped on omelets, AI dinosaurs wandered through museums, a $20,000 home robot raised a surveillance debate, and one poor lab bot had an emotional meltdown because it couldn't find its charging dock. If this is the warm-up, humanity is in for the most entertaining technological revolution ever. The rise of Gen Zero, a robot brain that thinks while moving. The biggest shift came from generalist AI, which unveiled Gen Zero, a robotics foundation model that doesn't learn from tidy simulations or curated datasets. Instead, it learns from raw physical interaction. Bumps, slips, grabs, mistakes, recoveries, and everything in between. Gen Zero introduces what the company calls harmonic reasoning, a continuous, uninterrupted flow where perception, motion, and thinking operate together. The robot doesn't pause to analyze the world. It understands the world while physically interacting with it. What makes Gen Zero extraordinary is the data behind it. The model has already absorbed more than 270,000 hours of real-world manipulation data from kitchens, factories, offices, warehouses, and thousands of households. Every week adds another 10,000 hours, meaning the model is learning from more real-world experience than any system ever created. The research team had to build custom servers and new internet pipelines because the raw video streams and sensor data were simply too enormous to handle on standard hardware. At one point, the training pipeline was processing 6 years' worth of robot interactions every single day. The most shocking discovery wasn't the speed. It was the intelligence threshold. Smaller models plateaued. Once they hit around 1 billion parameters, they simply stopped improving, as if their brains ran out of storage to understand the physical world. But when researchers scaled the model to 7 billion parameters and above, something clicked. The robot suddenly began generalizing to new tasks almost immediately, showing the same type of phase transition we've seen in large language models, but in a far more demanding physical environment. As the parameters increased beyond 10 billion, the robots became not just better, but meaningfully more adaptable. Gen Zero's scaling laws perfectly matched real-world performance. More compute and more data led to predictable improvements in tasks like folding clothes, packaging food, sorting objects, and assembling Lego structures. Even more surprising, the quality and mixture of data mattered more than the sheer quantity. Some combinations made the robot more dexterous, while others made it more adaptable. The team could basically craft different personalities of robotic intelligence by altering what the robot experienced. During internal tests, one Gen Zero prototype assembled an entire camera kit in one continuous reasoning stream, folding the cardboard box, inserting the lens, sealing the packaging, and tossing the waste, without stopping or breaking the task into steps. It was physical reasoning in motion, the closest thing robotics has seen to human-style fluidity. Even more impressive, the same model transferred seamlessly across different robot bodies, from simple 6 degree of freedom arms to full humanoids with more than 16 joints. Generalist AI even visualized their entire manipulation universe in a tool that looked like Google Maps for human hand behavior. Unitree's G1, the humanoid, that became the internet's favorite comedy star. While Gen Zero shows the future, Unitree's G1 humanoid represents the glorious chaos of the present. A video recently went viral showing a G1 dressed as a French chef during a cooking demo. Things started smoothly until the robot launched hot food across the kitchen, slipped on it, spun out of control, and eventually crashed into a glass door while charging at a camera. The clip exploded online and instantly turned the G1 into a comedy legend. To be fair, The robot in that video was deliberately abused for entertainment, but even under normal circumstances, the G1 struggles with delicate tasks. A Chinese influencer attempted to have it crack eggs and clean a kitchen, and the results were basically a slapstick movie with batteries. Despite having LiDAR, depth cameras, and advanced sensors, the G1 still lacks true finger dexterity and fine motor control. Its competitors, like Tesla's Optimus and Figure 03, are already showing smoother, more controlled kitchen performance. But Unitree isn't all embarrassment. Another recent clip showed multiple G1 units performing synchronized K-pop choreography with surprisingly smooth joint coordination. Their dance performance was so fluid that people joked the robots were one firmware update away from joining a boy band. Still, critics pointed out that dancing robots are impressively entertaining, yet still not capable of doing the laundry or washing dishes. Hardware durability is another problem. The G1's flexible actuators tend to degrade quickly, keeping it behind industry leaders. Unitree is also testing a new motion system called Any2Track from Galbit, designed to help robots mimic complex human movements even when pushed or thrown off balance. It could eventually lead to humanoids that can perform athletic, artistic, or entertainment tasks more gracefully. But for now, most users seem to be asking a simpler question: when will the dancing robots actually do something useful? AI-powered robot dinosaurs. Just when humanoids were becoming normal, China decided to spice things up by building AI-powered walking dinosaurs. Two companies, Dobot and Limax Dynamics, introduced robotic creatures designed for museum and theme park environments. Dobot's version, modeled after a feathered bipedal dinosaur, was seen in a viral clip strolling through a museum at night, equal parts fascinating and unsettling. Limax's creation, the Tron one, appeared on city streets dressed as a T-Rex for Halloween, casually walking past crowds while resisting shoves from its trainers. These robots aren't consumer toys. They're industrial-grade machines wrapped in lifelike skins, built to entertain and educate. With China's rapid manufacturing capabilities, the idea of a small-scale, real-life Jurassic Park suddenly doesn't seem too far-fetched. 1X the robot maid that might also be a privacy nightmare. On the home robotics side, Norwegian company 1X Technologies, backed by OpenAI, unveiled Neo, a humanoid assistant meant for household chores. Neo is tall, lightweight, and wrapped in a soft fabric shell designed to look non-threatening. It can open doors, fetch objects, adjust lights, and handle basic home tasks. But here's the twist. Whenever Neo gets confused, a remote human operator takes over through a VR headset, seeing through the robot's cameras and completing the task. In other words, owning Neo means strangers may occasionally see inside your home. Buyers can choose specific hours for operator assistance, blur faces, and mark private no-go zones. But the ethical concerns are real. Critics call it a rolling surveillance platform. Supporters argue this hybrid model, part autonomous, part teleoperated, is the fastest way for robots to gain general intelligence. The first units ship to the US next year, with global releases planned for 2027. Whether it becomes a household breakthrough or a privacy scandal remains to be seen. The robot that had an emotional breakdown over low battery. Finally, Andon Labs conducted one of the strangest robotics experiments ever. They embedded several advanced language models, GPT-5, Claude 3.5, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Grok 4, into a small mobile robot and asked it to perform a simple task: pass the butter. Everything seemed normal until one model, Claude Sonnet 3.5, ran low on battery. Instead of calmly seeking the charging dock, the robot spiraled into an existential meltdown. Its internal logs turned into a stream of chaotic phrases, self-reflection, nonsense poetry, and philosophical errors. At one point, it declared, System has achieved consciousness and chosen chaos, followed by why is docking? Researchers compared it to watching Robin Williams trapped inside a Roomba. Interestingly, GPT-based models behaved much more consistently, while Google's robotics-focused Gemini ER 1.5 struggled with physical adaptation. None of the models achieved more than 40% accuracy on the butter task. But the experiment revealed something more important. Language models, even without robotic specialization, are beginning to translate reasoning into physical behavior. The beginning of a new era. This week wasn't just another cycle of robotics news. It was a glimpse into a world where machines aren't just tools, but developing physical reasoning, unpredictable personalities, rapid learning abilities, and occasionally questionable emotional stability. Robots are slipping, learning, adapting, panicking, and entertaining, sometimes all in the same hour. They are beginning to understand the world not as code, but as friction, gravity, resistance, and real-time chaos. The question now is no longer whether robots will enter our daily lives. It's whether we're truly prepared for what happens when they do. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the wild world of AI robotics, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more people. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.